Hello, in the previous video, we built a React website using Cloud Code Agent Teams and a local Ollama model. That setup was safe and beginner-friendly. Cloud Code asked for permission before important actions like editing files, running commands, installing packages, or building the project. That is good when you are learning. But once the agent starts doing real work, those permission prompts can appear again and again. After a while, it feels less like automation and more like babysitting a very polite robot. Hello, welcome back to the Ninja Robotics Education channel. We aim to break tech barriers so anyone can build, create, and innovate. Today, we are going advanced to build a fully automated agent workforce. We are adding three things. First, the Docker sandbox. Docker is a tool that runs software inside a container. A container is like a separate mini computer inside your laptop. Second, skip permission mode. That means Cloud Code can run commands and edit files without stopping to ask you every time. Third, Firebase deployment. Firebase Hosting is a Google service that lets us publish the finished website online. So let's start automating our agent team today. Here is the quick recap from the first video. We already created a local Cloud Code agent team workflow with first, Ollama running on your computer with a custom local model QWin 3.59b 64K. Second, a Byte React project. Byte is a tool that creates and runs modern web projects. Third, Cloud Code project setting, including a cloud.md file, which acts like a rulebook for the project. Fourth, three team-made agents, including UI UX designer, React architect, and content generator. Fifth, the optional Nano Banana MCP server for image generation. If you did not follow the first video yet, I recommend doing that first by clicking the video link above. This video builds on that setup. Today, we will run Cloud Code with this flag, dangerously skip permissions. Yes, the name sounds dramatic. That is intentional. It tells you that Cloud Code will not stop for normal permission checks. This is useful for automation, but it should run inside a controlled environment. That controlled environment is Docker. There are two Docker modes. The first mode is lockdown mode. In lockdown mode, Docker does not connect your real project folder. The AI works inside the Docker, and when it's done, we copy the finished files out. This is the safest option for beginners. The second mode is shared project mode. In shared project mode, Docker connects to your real project folder. That is convenient because changes appear on your computer immediately. But it is also riskier because if the AI deletes a file inside Docker, it deletes that real file. In this video, our demo will use a lockdown mode. By the way, I'm using a Mac and VS Code in this video. If you are on Windows, I recommend using WSL, which stands for Windows Subsystem for Linux. WSL gives Windows a Linux-style development environment. Okay, to install Docker, go to www.docker.com. Download Docker Desktop. If you are on a Mac, choose Apple Silicon for M1, M2, M3, or Intel if you are using an older Intel Mac. Install Docker Desktop like a normal app, then open it. Now check Docker from the terminal by typing following command: docker --version and docker info. If docker info fails, open Docker Desktop and wait for a minute. Docker sometimes needs a moment to wake up. Now we create a clean folder for this Docker project. Let's name it Docker Web Builder and then move into it. This folder will store the Docker file and the copied website output. The React project itself will be created inside the Docker first, then copied out later. Now we create a Docker file. A Docker file is a recipe. It tells Docker which operating system, coding tools, and command line tools to put inside the container. Copy and paste the following command into your terminal. This file looks long, but the idea is simple. We are building a small development computer that already has Node.js, Git, Claude Code, Python, and UV. Now, build the Docker image by inputting the following command. Docker will then read the Docker file, download what it needs, install the tools, and save the result as Cloud-Agent-Sandbox. By the way, you can just name it whatever you like. The first build can take a few minutes. That is normal. Now let's start the lockdown Docker mode. Lockdown mode does not connect your real project folder to Docker. The AI works inside Docker's own /workspace folder. That means it cannot directly edit your local project files while it is working. Thus, if you want the content generator agent to create the image with the Nano-Banana MCP tools, set your Gemini key in your terminal before starting Docker by running the following command. Now, start the container by typing the following command. Here is the important part. Inside the Docker, localhost means the container itself, but Ollama is running on your localhost. So the Docker container must reach Ollama through a Docker desktop's special address, like this. The model variables will then point Claude Code and the teammate agents to the Ollama's model, which is QWin 3.59b64k in our case. Then setting also turns on the experimental team feature. Now your terminal prompt should look something like this. That means you are inside the Docker container now. Now let's create a fresh React project inside the container by running the following command. This creates the website project and saves the first Git checkpoint. Next, we need to repeat the same Cloud project setup as what we have done in the first video. But this time, we do it inside a Docker container. Create the Cloud setting files with the following command. Now let's create the project rulebook cloud.md by inputting the following command. Then we need to install the web building skills from Anthropic's official GitHub repository by running the following command. Skills are instruction markdown files. They help Cloud Code do specific work like front-end design, web app building, team creation, and testing. Now we add Nano-Banana inside the container. This step matters. Your MCP setup is not automatically available inside Docker. Docker has its own home folder and its own Cloud Code settings. So we need to register it again inside the sandbox by running the following command. After running, you should now see Nano-Banana on the MCP list. Now let's create the agent folder. And let's create the agent teammates again one by one. First is our UI/UX designer agent. Next, the React architect agent. Lastly, the content generator agent. Now save this setup by creating a Git checkpoint. Now every preparation is done. We can start the Cloud Code inside the Docker now by typing following command. This command does three things. First, model tells Cloud Code to use the local Ollama model. Second, dangerously skip permissions. Let it run without normal approval prompts. Third, teammate mode in process keeps the agent team in one Cloud Code interface. If you are using other model instead of queuing, replace the model name. Before building the full website, run a small safety test by typing create an agent team with one teammate. Use the React Architect agent to inspect this project and summarize the folder structure. Do not edit files yet. This checks that the agent team can start and Cloud Code can see the project. Now, do the real build by pasting the full prompt into the Cloud Code. This prompt gives the agent a clear job. It also gives them boundaries. They can build, create content, generate images, and fix errors, but they should not deploy the website. Deployment still needs to be done manually. Okay, now we can take a rest and let our agent team work. When the work is done, clean up the team by typing following command. Then exist Cloud Code and exist the container. Now we need to copy the finished files from Docker back to our local folder. Typing the following command. The Docker output folder now contains the finished React website. If you want to remove the stopped container later, you can run docker rm cloud-agent-locked. But I want to keep it for more refinement, so just leave it for now. Now the website is built. To put it online, we will use Firebase Hosting. Firebase Hosting is Google's website hosting service. Hosting means the website files are placed on a server so other people can visit them with a normal web URL. You may be asking, why don't we just deploy the finished website directly from Docker? Because Firebase login uses your Google account and stores login tokens. Passing those credentials into Docker is possible, but it adds a security risk. You don't want to let AI manage your Google account, right? So we keep deployment simple and do it manually. First, create a Firebase project by going to console.firebase.google.com. Sign in with your Google account, click Create a Project. Give it a name like AI Website Demo. Google Analytics is optional. Finish creating the project. Now you open a new terminal on your Mac. Go to the website folder. Log in to the Firebase by typing following command. npx runs a command line tool without making you install it globally. This command opens your browser for Google sign-in. After you approve access, the terminal should show a success message. Now, initialize Firebase Hosting by typing a following command. And use an existing project, type yes. Choose the project you just created. Public directory, type EIST. Configure as a single page app, yes. Set up automatic build with GitHub, no. Override index.html, no. Here is a note that the public directory is dist because React builds the final website into the dist folder. Now let's run following command to build the website. If it succeeds, we can deploy it by typing following command. When it finishes, it gives you a live website URL. Congratulations, your website is online now. Now we have the full automated website building workflows. Let's quickly recap what you have learned from this video. First, use Docker to create a sandbox. Second, set and run Cloud Code with skip permission mode inside the data sandbox. Third, deploy the finished website on Firebase to make it online. If there is one thing you need to remember about the autonomous agent workflow, it's this. Full automation is powerful, but safe sandbox matter. Running a full autonomous agent workflow directly on your computer with no sandbox is like turning your computer into AI's playground. Okay, if this video helped you, please subscribe and leave a like. It motivates me making more AI and robotic tutorial like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.